Hi and welcome to my tutorial on using sound in Flash. You can see here I've got an animation of a bouncing ball on a beach, one which I've already made, so let's just look and see what that one does. And it's a simple animation, but it's quite nice. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a sound effect, simple sound effect, to coincide with the ball bouncing, just to give it a little bit more effectiveness. So what I've already done, I've already created a layer in my animation, layer 5, and I'm actually going to rename that, so I know I'm going to call it sound. Okay, now what I'm going to need to do is import a sound that I can use. Now I've already found a sound effect that I can work with, and you're going to need to make sure that you've already downloaded and have available any sounds that you want. I would advise you to use MP3 files for this, sound effects or for music. So I'm going to go File, Import, and Import to Library, and this will just mean that the sound is imported into Flash ready for me to use, and I've got a sound effect there called boing that I'm going to use. Now what I need to do is work out where the sound needs to play, because obviously I don't want it playing all the time. I want it playing at the times when the ball bounces. So as I review my animation here, I think it's going to be around about here, frame kind of 10. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to right click on my sound timeline, insert keyframe there, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag the sound onto the animation there. Okay, and you notice that it's now appeared in frame 10, it's appeared in the right place. So what I can do now is scroll further along my timeline, and then I'm getting to frame, it's about 36. I'm going to do the same thing there. I'm going to insert another keyframe here, and into that keyframe I'm going to do the same thing, pull the sound in just like that. Excuse me. So what I'm going to do is let's just have a test to see how that works. And that works pretty well. That's not too bad at all. If I just go to File, Publish Preview and Flash, that's not too bad. That's worked fairly well. Now it's quite interesting that if I click on here, notice what's happened to the property bar. I'm on the sound layer, and I'm on the frame where I've added my sound, and there at the bottom of my properties bar it's made reference to my sound and given me the ability to add things like fading it out if I wanted to. So I might want to do that, say if the sound was one that was going on a bit too long, I could change it so that it fades out. So I might fade it out, choose to fade it out there perhaps, and then I could also change how often the sound repeats as well if I wanted to do that. So I'm going to probably won't notice much of a difference, but you can do some simple editing. The best thing to do is if you really need to edit the sound, edit it in Audacity before you import it into Flash. So let's just preview our animation again. Not really much of a difference there, but it does work quite nicely. So if we stop our animation, let's just review what we did. We've imported a sound into our library there. We've created a layer on our timeline called sound, which we're using purely to deal with the sound effect. We've inserted a keyframe at the right times on that layer to make sure that the animation goes in the right place, and then we've selected the keyframe and dragged the sound onto the canvas, and then it's synchronized it in the right place. So you'll need to make sure you've got a working sound effect to begin with, and that you've edited if you need to, and that you have got the timing worked out so you know when the sound needs to begin and end. Good luck, and see how you get on doing sound on your own.